Alrighty, it is Tuesday, which means we've got a monoset kingdom. In this case, all adventures. What's happening here? Alright, off the bat, it's going to be a Bridge Troll Mega Turn. Bridge Troll, I think, is arguably the strongest payload card in the game. And if you can play a bunch of them, you probably should play a bunch of them. And there's enough support here to play a bunch of them. So the goal is play a bunch of Bridge Trolls. Main draw, Lost City, also the main village. We got Raisin Ratcatcher for trashing, Bridge Troll and Messenger are the plus buy. Then there's Page, which can advance up to Champion, which is essentially infinite villages once you play it. You can also stop at Warrior, which is a draw card. And then the landscapes, we got Quest and Mission. So the two big question marks in this kingdom to me are, firstly, how good is Page? Usually Page is very strong, also one of the strongest cards in the game. But this does not strike me as the most important kingdom for Page. The Bridge Troll deck is actually not that terminal intensive. Unlike, Bridge Megaturn or some of the other high impact payload cards, Bridge Troll, you don't need to play that many of them. Like if you can play 4 Bridge Trolls in a turn, you play 4 one turn, 4 the next, provinces cost 0, you win. And that only requires 3 lost cities, as opposed to playing 7 bridges to win the game. So Champion would be something, but you could do without it. And then likewise, you don't need that much draw either for the same reason. You need to be able to draw 4 Bridge Trolls in your hand, but with a little bit of thinning and a few lost cities, you can do that just fine. All that being said, the Warrior attack seems pretty significant to me. Warrior trashes cards costing 3 or 4, and the 3 and 4 cost cards in this kingdom actually aren't that important as of yet. But if you play a Bridge Troll, the 5 cost cards become 4 cost cards, and the 5 cost cards look awfully important. So what if the goal is just play a Bridge Troll, then play a Warrior, and trash your opponent's Bridge Trolls? That'd be pretty nasty. So maybe you do want Warrior. And if you want Warrior for the attack, maybe you want Champion for the moat effect rather than for the village effect. So I could see Page mattering. And question number 2 is Mission any good? It's an extra turn for 4, which is a pretty good rate for an extra turn. The question is, what can you accomplish besides buying things? On a mission turn, you could trash extra cards with your Razor, your Ratcatcher. You could get in an extra attack with a Bridge Troll, or I don't know why you'd have a Giant, but theoretically Giant or a Warrior. You could advance your Page up the line. Mission plus Traveler usually is very strong interaction. I think that's less true here because the Page doesn't strike me as the central card in the kingdom, but it often is. Where you're trying to get to Teacher or Champion ASAP, then Mission can be very strong. So I could see some uses for Mission. I think it maybe comes situationally here. How to open? I think Raise looks better than Ratcatcher to me. The turn 2 buy is less clear. I could see opening Messenger or Silver to try to get to 5 for Bridge Troll. I think Silver will be better in that case, probably. I don't think you want to add a terminal if your first 5 is going to be a terminal. Or just take a second Raise or a Ratcatcher to get thin quickly. Raised Page would also usually be a very normal opening in a kingdom with both of these present. Again, here, I don't think... I like the Warrior attack idea, but I don't think it's the most important thing, so I need to get Page ASAP. At least I don't think so. So I don't think I want a Page yet. I think I'm going to take 2 Raises. This is not going to hit a high number, but there's decently cheap cards I'm happy buying. I'll take a Page now. And then at some point I'll add a Bridge Troll. Not sure what I'm buying here. I only think I really want the 1 Warrior, just because Warrior takes up terminal space and requires extra lost cities. But if I want to buff the attack, I could just buy additional Pages, not advance them, but then play Pages before I play the Warrior, and then it'll attack additional times. So a Page seems okay. A Ratcatcher seems okay for getting thin quicker. Dungeon would be a reasonable card. All of these seem fine. I'll take a Ratcatcher. Okay, this turn I think I should hit 5, and then I'll take a Bridge Troll. That actually will put me in a slightly awkward position of having Bridge Troll and Warrior in the deck at the same time. But that's not the end of the world. I'll just not play my Warrior for 1 turn. Or, you know, maybe I bottom deck the Bridge Troll and buy a Lost City. I'm not going to call that Ratcatcher. If I want to trash, I got to raise here. My top priority here is hitting 5, I think. I think that's Bridge Troll and Copper down there. I guess I'm probably just playing the Warrior after all. I don't want to advance either of those. I would be a very happy person if I could draw a Lost City here. The bot actually does not even have a 5 yet. What's happening over there? I confess to not having paid enough attention to what the bot was doing. If my eyes don't deceive me, my Lost City was on top and is no longer. Oh, how tragic. Alrighty, well, I got Justice. It didn't get trashed because the bot didn't have a Bridge Troll in play, but like if it had, that would have been really painful. I guess just a second Lost City for now. I can't add a second Bridge Troll and expect to play all of this. Once I get this Bridge Troll in play, then adding another Bridge Troll will be on the agenda. Okay, so the bot has just been super prioritizing thinning. It has got a very thin deck, which actually is a pretty decent counter to what I'm trying to do here with the Warrior. If you don't have any cards in your discard, there's nothing for me to trash. I really want to find my Warrior. You know it costs 5. Oh, never mind. I thought I was going to hit the hero. It's already advanced the hero to champion. I can't trash the champion unless I hit, unless I have 2 Bridge Trolls in play. Alright, we got a Bridge Troll though. So the Warrior did something. It's not going to do any more somethings because the bot's going to play champion next turn. But I got an attack before the champion hit. None of these cards really has any value at this point. The pages buff a ineffectual Warrior. I guess Ratcatcher is the least useless. With cost reduction, the raise actually starts to get dangerous. Usually raise is a no-cost card because if you don't need the trashing effect, you can just pop it to search your deck and draw a card. But once you've played Bridge Trolls, raise costs 0 and you pop raise, you actually just draw nothing and get to be sad. I think I've got enough draw to not really want to trash the coppers at the moment. Okay. Bridge Troll. And is Messenger any good? I can't play 2 Bridge Trolls and a Warrior and a Messenger. But I also don't really need to play the Warrior anymore. Maybe I could distribute something with Messenger. Yeah, let's do that. The bot has a 5-card deck, so it doesn't even get to draw a card off of the Lost City effect. It also doesn't need the draw from Lost City, and it's got a champion, so it doesn't need the village effect from Lost City. So I feel like giving us both Lost Cities, in fact, benefits me much more than it benefits the bot. Okay, so this is the bot's whole deck. It has a Warrior and a Bridge Troll. Sorry, a hero and a Bridge Troll. I don't know why it took a second hero. Once you got champion, sometimes you send a second page up the line to hero if you really want golds, but I don't think you really want golds here that badly. The bot does have a bunch of bridge trolls, so I want to make sure I don't get locked out of that pile and do take the last few. 1, 2, 3. And I suppose I'll need a silver, not a silver, a gold, because I've got 6 bridge trolls, but it's not quite enough. 8 bridge trolls will make provinces cost 0, 7 will make them cost 1. With 6 bridge trolls, they still cost 2, so I'll still need some amount of money to win. Again, none of these really matter. I'll take a guide, I guess. Giant. Bot, are you okay? What's happening over there? Can I win this turn? I don't think so. 6 bridge trolls is 7 buys. You gotta watch out for pile outs with messenger. You buy messenger, you distribute 2 things. Makes it a little easier to pile out. But the cheapest piles, or the lowest piles, are Lost City and Ratcatcher, which still are not that low. So probably the answer is no. Okay, well that's actually a little bit of a dud. I was thinking about advancing the warrior if I saw it here to get a champion and just block whatever the hell the bot plans on doing with the giant. But no dice. So the bot only managed to get 3 of the bridge trolls, which means I should still be in a commanding position. It doesn't have much pile pressure. It can't pile with only 3 bridge trolls. It's going to have to try to win on provinces. And with bridge trolls being contested, taking all the provinces isn't that easy, but taking a bunch of duchies is. So even if I lose the province split, it is not hard for me to come back on duchies. Hardbot, you've exchanged your hero for a second champion. Just to be clear, the first champion blocks all attacks. You don't need a second champion to do that. The first champion also gives you an extra action for every action card you could ever need to play. So there's 0 value whatsoever to having a second champion in the deck. Maybe it just actively doesn't want hero anymore and just wants to advance to do a champion, get it in play, and get it out of the way. That's my best case for how that could possibly make any sense. Ooh, that's a lot of silvers. That is a scary amount of silvers. Well, let's just see if this wins this turn. With 4 bridge troll plays, I would need to have 10 money. Well, 6 silvers at least gives me a bunch of money. Actually, let's be generous in a giving mood. Here you go, bot. Have a province on the house. Okay. The bot, the 2 champions is certainly interesting. It played with some bridge trolls in Lost Cities, but didn't really emphasize the stack, I think, quite as much as it should have. I'm a little annoyed that it got the champion, because I wanted to have more fun with the warrior. I think the warrior attack could be really, really devastating here versus someone who doesn't go for champion. Bot did take champion. I didn't take champion, but the bot didn't get a warrior to punish me for that. Had the bot taken a warrior, I would have had to advance the first warrior up the line, I think, to protect myself. But I think versus no champion, stack a warrior and a bunch of pages, and you just eat their deck. Versus the champion, you just click more bridge trolls, and then this should work out.